It's showtime.
In the world where critics roam, they take the movies to their throne. But we're here to break the mold. Media literate, behold. Every flick and every show, we dissect to let you know. Not with grace or high IQ, but with fun and laughter too. Media literate, we're the voice. No need for wisdom, just your choice. Popcorn in hand, take the ride. We'll guide you all through the tide.
I don't know who's leading this episode, so it's the DG podcast. We're talking about Fallout.
Yay.
You know, I mean, we kind of had this discussion in the first episode, but both me and you have a long history with the games.
Mm-hmm.
And a show like this should really be up our alley, but it really just serves to annoy us. And
Yeah. Gets a little bit irritating, this, and kind of hard to finish some episodes, actually.
yeah, well, it gets incredibly cringy. And it's not just like there is the, what do you call it? The paradox of being a fan of something, that the more of a fan of something you are, the worse the show ends up being because you just see all the problems.
Yeah.
And I've played all the Fallout games really thoroughly, and watching the show just makes me angry about how much they've ruined stuff, like the lore and...
Oh, bad. And just complete... I mean... It's this show. Frankly, I mean, we get into this whenever we talk about an episode. But like, this show would be, frankly, bad as it is if you weren't a fan of the games. I don't understand how anyone can like this show, even if they knew nothing, because the characters are stupid. However,
yeah, standalone, it's just
it's still bad.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of these games, holy shit. I don't know how you can. I mean, it's like, it's double. It's worse. It's twice as bad. Because not only is it nothing like, I mean, really, other than like bare minimum visually, like the games, but and also shits all over them and whatever else. But then on top of that, the characters are stupid.
Well, and this is kind of a, I guess I'd say, example, microcosm, like a perfect image of how Hollywood treats existing IPs.
Mm-hmm.
That it, in some ways, they don't care whether or not there's an existing fan base, and in many ways, they desperately need that fan base to bring them in as an audience to help out their you know what I mean, their viewers and whatnot.
Yeah. It's baffling. Like, they get the IP because, like, well, it has built-in audience, easy breezy, and then it's like, we do nothing that the audience wants. Okay.
Well, I don't think they understand. Like, I've seen this happen over and over and over again with multiple shows where it doesn't seem like they grasp even a microcosm of why people like a thing or why it might annoy them if you disrespect it. It's like they assume that everybody's basically stupid, and that the bare minimum they need to do is like Easter eggs and like fan nods to things that we think are familiar but aren't really, you know, like that valuable. And this show is like a perfect example. This isn't a show where it's a deeply well written, interesting plot line. It's more of a popcorn action Guardians of the Galaxy quippy comments and whatnot, but it doesn't even really respect the lore in any aspect. It the game and the lore and the universe exists solely for the purpose of pushing forward a plot that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it is key jangle the show. You know, like, yeah, they're trying to do something with their own characters, I guess. I mean, it's all stupid, but everything that is Fallout, quote unquote, is, I mean, it is just key jangles. Like, oh, okay. Like,
Well, would you? Because I'm sitting here thinking of the plot, and I'm like, it's very superficial. It's sort of a tool for characters to do stuff. And I know if you're a big fan of the show, you might be like, well, that's not true, but it feels like it's more of a, would it be accurate to say like a character driven story? But the characters are really thin.
yeah, I mean, the only character that's worth a scintilla of a shit is Cooper Howard,
Yes.
Walton Goggins. He's the only one who has anything going on beyond fingernail depth. You could with any of these characters, Lucy, Maximus. I mean, there could be more going on with them. For some reason, the writers refuse to do that. They make both of those characters, Lucy and Maximus, fucking morons over and over and over again.
Everybody in this universe is comically stupid.
Oh, shockingly stupid. Other than the ones we want to be cool, which is basically Cooper and kind of Lucy's brother. What's his name? Is it Norm? Yeah, Norm. But he also does, like, they just like sprinkle his stuff throughout the show. I mean, each episode, very very little. So really, you don't know a lot about what's going on with him, and character wise or otherwise, frankly. And so everyone else. Look, I don't have anything against Ella Purnell or Aaron Moten, you know, the Maximus and Lucy. But goddamn, the writers do nothing with them.
No.
Nothing that's worthwhile.
No.
And this episode's a really funny example to me, episode 2. And where it starts out with, frankly, I think a kind of a cool, well, doesn't start out that way. The very first thing is Shady Sands getting nuked, but where the next scene after that is Brotherhood of Steel going through an abandoned place, killing feral ghouls. Like that was actually a cool scene, and it was shot neat, and it was taken seriously. And it's immediately undercut by this stupid vocoding that the goddamn suits have. I hate that. And they always play it off as a joke every fucking time. And I hate what the power armor does, how they make the power armor have dumbass, like, comedic vocoding. I hate it. Every time. And they just can't. And then, but by the end of this episode, Maximus goes from, you know, someone who's competent, and I guess he's still kind of competent, but it's like he just, why is he always lost constantly? Like, he looks like bored when he's killing the ghouls, and then when he's being told that he's just a sword and he's dim, he looks bored. Like, what are we doing? What's going on here? Ugh.
You know,
something.
As good as the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies were, they kind of broke a lot of things because everybody kept trying to recreate that sort of sarcastic, quippy conversation. Everything's slightly jokey all of the time, and it's ruined many, many shows.
Yeah, you know, we used to blame it on oh god, what's the guy that created Firefly and Buffy and all that?
Whedon.
We used to blame it on Whedon, and I think he still deserves blame. But the problem is that old gun boy picked up the torch and has run with it to make things extra retarded. Because at least Joss Whedon could make some good shows. I don't think Gunn could at all, and he is Oh my god, what a plague. What a plague on Hollywood.
Well, and if you have any experience with this universe, it's not jokey. I mean, if anything, it has kind of a dark humor to it, but in reality, it's very dour and serious.
Yeah, yes, like everything has deathly serious consequences. Things can be played off as darkly humorous, but very rarely goofy humorous. Like that's so rare. It is unless you have the wacky wasteland perk because someone would mention it. But like even that, it's far more dark than this show would be. I mean, I think I brought up an example the last time we talked about this where I was beginning to play. By the way, this show has ruined my playthrough of Fallout New Vegas again. I can't play it because it's just going to make me hate the show more, and we have to finish this season. So I quit playing it because I was just getting pissed. But like one example is, I'm walking my way to the New Vegas. I'm going past some train tracks in like a slightly built up area, and they have a playground right next to the train tracks. Like that's funny. That's darkly funny. Like it's just like a minor thing that isn't even pointed out to you. You have to sit there and look at it and go like, oh my god, why would they put that there? Like, and that's all it is. Like the goofiest it gets, at least in New Vegas, is the guy at the Helios One, the fake scientist.
Well, some of the vault stuff.
A little, not bad, not too bad in New Vegas. 3 and 4, much more so. But that's Bethesda.
Yeah. And I was actually reflecting earlier today. Each of the games, it feels like your purpose in each of the games is the ultimate mission at the end of each of them is New Vegas has got a lot of ambiguity, but I would assume the best outcome is the natural outcome, but each of the games is you're trying to make the wasteland a better place. That you're actually having a positive impact of dragging sort of mankind out of the horrors of the apocalypse. And it seems like the show is embracing the idea of like, no, mankind doesn't get to crawl itself out of the apocalypse. Even though that's sort of the point of every game, is you have a massively positive impact on the wasteland in every game. Except the show undermines every event in every game and then assumes none of them were successful and actively destroys things that were established. Like mankind is never capable of crawling out of the wasteland on its own or making things better. It's like the entire history of humankind of coming out of, the brutality of tribalism to building cities, to building nations. And then it all collapsed on itself with our own hubris. No, we don't even organize well individually as a people.
No, we're just kind of dumb always. Frankly, and not to be this guy, but like, it's like originally it was war. War never changes. And because it doesn't matter if you are a tribal in the wasteland, or a Brotherhood of Steelmite, or a pre-war American or Chinese citizen, like war is there, and humanity will go to war, and that's kind of, and arguably, Bethesda's like, well, the apocalypse never ends. Like that's what they want it to be. Like the apocalypse will be around forever. It will never get better. It's just always around. Like,
this is just a set piece for quirky things to happen.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god. Which is why I think, and I'm trying not to be a New Vegas fanboy, but it is my favorite of the new ones, frankly. But the reality is, the reason why it stands out so much to people is because humanity is doing something different other than just living in, trash heap. And just with rags and it's post-apocalypse, and it's like, yeah, 200 years ago. What are we doing? Like, goddamn.
My complaint when playing the Fallout games was the apocalypse was 200 years ago. No one's cleaned up, even a little bit.
Nobody figured out how to make a broom. Okay.
Well, you walk into places where the NCR has a base, and it's just rubble everywhere, like the apocalypse happened 2 days ago.
Mm.
And it's like no one pushed the debris away. Like there's just a ruined car. No one just shoved it out to the side or anything. Just no one cares.
Stuff up. Just leave it around.
That was always my big complaint, because they try to make you feel like it happened 2 minutes ago when it was quite some time ago.
Yeah. And like, I mean, what is it? The famous Fallout 4 one where you go to that diner and help that lady save her son. And there's like, and it's a business. She's operating a business out of this diner, and there's literally a skeleton in one of the booths. What are we doing? Like, oh my god!
She's running a successful diner. Hasn't even cleaned up the corpses from previous centuries.
Nah, leave it there. Who cares? We're just eating roach meat, man.
Well, and the biggest grievance and the biggest problem, because season 1 there was all this potential, because you're starting square one, and it hasn't, for the most part, stepped on anything until you get near the end, and it just ruins lore wholesale.
Yeah.
And this episode begins with Shady Sands and sort of setting up what happened to Shady Sands and her father blowing it up because of pettiness, essentially. Yeah. The scene is neat in and of itself. It's got what the community was like. It's a little kumbaya hippie, but
it's selling a point, I suppose.
Yeah, but they're all working together and mankind's doing great. And then her dad sends... See, I would have assumed it was a missile or something with access to Vault-Tec stuff, but no, he just brainwashed a guy to walk a nuke into the middle of Shady Sands by using his mind control stuff.
Yeah, which I guess he just had around. Why didn't he use that earlier in the vault sometime? You know, like just,
kept exploding people or whatever. But like, and his dad, young Maximus, seems somewhat capable or understands what the nuke is and is going to attempt to disarm it, but fails to do so. So they hide him in a refrigerator, and they make the ultimate sacrifice to protect their son, who then gets picked up by the Brotherhood later and becomes a member of the Brotherhood. Yeah. And destroying one city and the vast, large, like encompassing most of California plus, like all of California plus, bigger than most nations in Europe. One city goes down in the entirety of the NCR. I'm never going to let that go, how stupid that is.
It's so dumb. It is so stupid. Look, you could talk about there being, like, you know, the nation splitting. You could have there being, you know, that this season loves civil wars. You could have that. You could do a lot of things with that. And it's just like, no, NCR is gone, I guess. And it's like, oh my God, that is so stupid.
Well, during World War II, most major Japanese cities were flattened, and they still functioned like as a government. Like they still managed to produce things and initiate supplies and send things. Most of the major cities were destroyed, and they were still mostly fine. Well, they were holding on barely, but they still functioned.
Yeah, it was still a country.
It would have been more interesting that the outcome of destroying Shady Sands caused a huge havoc with the NCR, which got the Legion the upper hand.
Yeah.
But that's not the scenario we're given. It's just the purpose of destroying Shady Sands is because Maximus needs a tragic backstory. And it's like, well, what if we do this? Well, the NCR is the thing. Yeah, but we need everything to be really shitty. So let's just destroy the NCR without any consideration that it's really stupid and undermines decades of lore from Fallout 1 on, and then just shrugging off the existence of the NCR, despite the fact it's been a big part of Fallout lore for a long time. Just destroy it for the convenience of our storytelling in the shitty TV show paid for by Amazon.
Rhett, I really want there to be an apocalypse outside. God damn it.
Things can't be getting better, damn it.
Ugh. And that's one of the things that really... I was talking to my girlfriend about this because she doesn't like this show. She tried and hated it immediately. She's not a fan of the games or anything. She never played them, really.
Right.
But I was telling her, I'm like, what's so irritating? Like, having it be in California/Nevada is so stupid. Because why not have it in, say, New Orleans, Miami? How about Georgia? You could have it in Atlanta. There's like a lot of, like, St. Louis. We could have a St. Louis Fallout. No. No. Don't go anywhere new. Don't make anything fun. Because, you could do so much neat, like, iconography or, like, imagery with, like, 50s Miami, mid-century Miami. You could have giant irradiated alligators. You could do so fucking much with, and they won't. How about a fucking flamingo monster? No. We're not, like, even if you lean into the Bethesda of it all, it could be so much more interesting than just like, yep. Anyway, it's desert. And by the way, everything you liked from the other 3 games that were set here, fuck you. You don't get it. Like, the reason why, and people complain, like, there's kind of a rift online, at least on Twitter, I've noticed, there's people who like the show, and people who think the show is an abomination, and is horrible, and the fans of the show don't understand, well, but what, there's more Fallout, you should be happy, and it's like, yeah, but it sucks. And there's it's a conspiracy, a little bit, where everyone's like, is Todd Howard just really insecure about New Vegas, and he had to do this to shit all over the games that weren't Bethesda games, so he could, like, wipe the slate clean and start over? Because I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have believed that before, because, like, who cares? Like, he's doing whatever he wants. But, like, this stuff is so stupid, I'm starting to, like, believe it a little bit. Because literally, there's so much fun mid-century stuff. Like, if you just want to have the Bethesda feel Fallout, Miami is the perfect example.
Well,
it's such a mid-century city, and it is so iconic of that era.
The Bethesda games are the Capital Wasteland, so DC, and Boston. And then 76 was in West Virginia. Like, he could set it over in that area and then ruin their own lore they established, which I would bet they would treat a lot more gently.
I do too.
But instead, he set it in an area of the previous Fallout games and New Vegas, which Bethesda didn't make.
Yeah. It's just so irritating, because it's a big old country, Rhett. It's a big old country. They could do a lot. There's a lot of places they could go.
Well, and I thought about it, because when you were talking about, well, we could put it other places, and you didn't mention stuff like Detroit and Chicago. But the problem is, in the lore, those are supposed to be just utterly flattened, desolate places of horror. But then again, they don't follow the lore, nor do they care. So they could just make it... Because, like, Washington, D.C. is supposed to be one of the most flattened places, and it's just a bunch of craters, and it's fine. Like, I was shocked in the game how livable the post-apocalypse was.
Yeah. Like, well, man, the Russians, when they do post-apocalypse, you can't leave the subways, because you'll be irradiated and die. The atmosphere is so bad.
Oh, Metro did it really well.
But, man, you can just walk outside, and it looked like there was hundreds of nukes that hit DC. Good Lord.
Well, and you can set it like in places like you said, Miami, that are so open to, you don't have to tread over any previous lore. You don't have to damage anything. You can make up your own monsters and do all the creativity. But it's like, yeah, but they won't like it because Fallout has to have like Death Claws and super mutants and
shit. That ain't stopped Bethesda before. They just moved them over to the Capital Wasteland. Anyway.
Where they shouldn't be, lore-wise, they shouldn't be.
Fuck it.
I always liked in New Vegas, there were creatures in New Vegas that were specific because of the Mojave.
Yeah.
just monsters there. Yeah. Yeah, the Night Stalkers, but I was talking like oh, blow flies are everywhere. I know there's
Yeah.
specific
Oh, the
stuff.
Cazadors.
Yeah, Cazadors are a thing.
Mm,
There are other creatures that are specific, but it's like there should be regional monsters. Like that's not a big a deal.
no. Well, they did it in remember the Far Harbor?
Far Harbor is really good. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
they
that.
had region like the anglerfish mutant things. Like those are cool as shit.
Yeah, and then
Why
for
not?
no reason, a monster from the West Coast shows up, and you're like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, what the hell's going on? It's I don't know. It is. I mean, and someone would say like, "Well, but there's stuff going on in Chicago too because of Fallout Tactics," and it's like that is literally one of the games like that and Brotherhood. Nobody cares if you touch those games, really. I mean, people look more kindly upon Tactics now, but Jesus, I mean, back in the day, Tactics was considered the abomination of the series.
Lore wise,
It
yeah.
was a cash grab. Oh yeah, it was a total cash grab. Reused assets. It didn't look very good because of that. Like fuck it, just have Chicago. Whatever. Who cares?
And I
Just
and I think the secret enclave area is supposed to be in Chicago
I don't remember. Maybe.
because I think that's where they get all their orders. It's a little bit fuzzy now because the lore is so shifting depending on which games you're looking at.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the enclave, the remnant of the U.S. government, and it's like, oh, okay, they're barely around. All right. Oh, and also they have a secret base everywhere.
Yeah. West Coast, East Coast, able to have hundreds of troops and brand new power armor somehow.
Functioning perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Still
Okay.
still going strong hundreds of years later.
Doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. All right.
And to be fair, these were all lore complaints, and I like to remind you the argument I addressed last episode, where it was like, oh well, this show stands on its own. Why are you complaining about all this lore stuff? Well, the show specifically says it's canon. It's supposed to fit within the other canonical stuff. So I have to assess it according to that. Now, to be fair, we could look at the show and stand aside and be like, oh, well, let's just throw out all of the stuff that doesn't make sense and ruins the lore and are plot holes and issues and blah, blah, which are all legitimate criticisms. Let's just all throw it out and then pretend like this is a fresh new show. The show's bad on its own. And we're going to discuss that as we shift forward. But you did talk about so the Brotherhood, I would like to address really quickly, was started because this individual looked around and said, oh, they're doing horrific things, the remnants of the government, with testing and whatnot. So, because much like the hubris of the pre-war America, science had also run amok like crazy.
Oh yeah.
And the Brotherhood felt that gathering all of these dangerous pieces of these pieces of technology and keeping it out of the hands of mankind so they don't recreate the horrors of the apocalypse is a legitimate thing to do. And in many ways, there's a mirror with like the Imperium Space Marines of Warhammer 40k, because they want to purify mankind and get rid of like the mutants and the ghouls and the whatnot. Was there? I mean, there are legitimate criticisms to that being like if mankind is to survive, they might have to do something like that.
Yeah. Might have to happen anyway. Mm-hmm.
And so we get the scene of them just getting rid of ghouls, which are everywhere, and the ghouls are feral, and there's a distinct difference between ghouls who maintain their, I guess, consciousness and ghouls that lose their consciousness. And in the lore originally it was, well, you get radiated enough, eventually you just go mad, and some people are able to retain their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And it always seemed ambiguous as to why.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of, it wasn't like scienced out, right? Like nobody sat there and measured it. It's like some people could be ghouls for 200 years, like Coop or Howard, and some people they turn feral pretty quickly.
But in this show, they explain away with these vials that they take, which I'm not super mad about. It does change a lot of things retroactively.
Yeah. But it's a MacGuffin they can use, so I get it. You know, it's something that Cooper or Howard will always need, right? Like, so,
yeah, it creates a necessity that he has to use.
Yeah, like it. All right, okay.
But they make it back to, so they were looking for a piece of technology that was extremely important and valuable, and he gives it to what, Elder Cleric Quintus or whatever his name is.
Yes, yeah.
Which also runs into another problem of, oh, I gotta sneeze.
How dare you?
Goodness, Ross. Well, why don't you describe what he went to go find really quick, as I go blow my nose.
You're good. So yeah, we see Maximus going through an empty building facility, whatever, killing ghouls, and they find what looks like a tape recorder kind of thing, and he grabs it, and they give it over to him, and they plug it into, well, it's like it looks like a playground, but actually it's housing, and for some reason there's a playground out in the middle of the desert. It's housing like some computer tech, and they plug it in, and it turns on they send a signal to it, and it turns on these big fans that blow away all the sand that are covering up Area 51, Red. And I am going to be honest, that is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. That makes no sense from a pre-war perspective.
What's that?
Well, so
the buried base with the fans, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like why would America build that?
Well, why would they presuppose that it would get buried by sand in the post-apocalypse?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Like, there was actually a base in the Mojave that was hidden by an extremely powerful defense system that clouded everything in mist that the Brotherhood had hid inside of. We're not going to talk about that was a thing. No, there was... Well, and I'm always baffled that it apparently in the Fallout universe, the past mankind and scientists and governments and militaries basically perpetually built secret, amazing technologies and bury them every 5 feet. It's like, because they're not that far from Helios 1, which is a space laser. Or the secret Brotherhood base that's shrouded in mist that keeps them hidden.
Or the dude, there's like kind of a base situation at Hoover Dam.
Yeah. Hoover Dam is the big, massive... Hoover Dam was a big deal in the game because it's basically power. It's infinite power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's in the lore in the games. I don't know if this is spoiling anything because we haven't seen anything yet, but the secret underground huge facilities built by Mr. House full of robot armies... that it would also be hugely powerful. Or how about Mr. House's defense system, which is why Vegas survived the apocalypse, but not really. When you look at Vegas, it's actually really shitty. But technically, Vegas survived the apocalypse because of his defense system he built.
Yeah.
It didn't get nuked, but it was a dump.
Bad times was happening.
Everything gets dirtier in the future. Well, it's weird why finding this one thing to blow fans so that the base isn't covered. Like, why would the past build this?
It's really dumb.
Unless they deliberately buried it in sand and then created a mechanism that could only be activated with this one thing to unbury it in sand. Yeah, you're right. That's really dumb. That's just, and this isn't talking about, oh well, they ruined this lore. No, this is in the show.
Yeah,
how they've built it into the show.
Face value, I'd go like, wow, that's Is it supposed to be the past that did this? That's really stupid. Because at least the secret base, the hit, what do they call it, Hidden Valley, that the Brotherhood are in the game, like that's kind of like a technology I could see kind of being useful. You know, like, oh, this way to like mask the visual movement of troops or whatever. Like, oh, fine, all right, whatever. But like, we're gonna make big fans to blow away all the sand. It's like, oh, okay,
Well,
but
and
why?
can I just point something out? The Mojave Desert isn't the Sahara Desert.
No, no, it is
It's
not.
dry, rocky, flatlands for the most part. There really isn't huge amounts of sand.
Not like that. No, I mean there are certain areas that can get sand dunes, but that is like an area. It's not the entirety of the desert.
And I grew up in Arizona for like 12 years. And it's a very different, it's like the surface of the moon. It's very different than Southern California. It's very different than Nevada. Like these environments have specific, I get the feeling that if they would have set this in Arizona, there would also be sand dunes for some reason. It's like sand dunes are created because of lack of vegetation and over, you know, thousands, tens of thousands of years. Just degradation. Because our actual Sahara Desert used to be green.
Yeah.
And it was just the degradation of vegetation that kept the topsoil from going bad and then get blown around. Anyway, don't at me on science, but they used to be a lot better a long time ago. I'm just looking at this and it's like, this isn't the Sahara Desert, whatever. I've seen Nevada. It doesn't look like this.
No,
The American West is a very unique environment. It's not. Regardless, they uncover, I guess, the secret thing. It's like they get the one MacGuffin to uncover the MacGuffin base to get the MacGuffin thing in the MacGuffin base.
MacGuffin.
Almost like Rise of Skywalker. We need to find the secret dagger to find the secret location for the secret thing. It's like, ew. It's really stupid.
Who made this and why?
Yeah, none of this makes any sense. But we do cut back to our titular character, who should be the main character, but isn't, is our girl, Lucy, walking the what genuinely does look like the American West, rocky and dune and covered in shrub.
Yeah, that's actually probably the Mojave, or at least the California desert at the very least.
And they're having conversations about morality for some reason.
God, she's being such a fucking Pollyanna. I am so tired of this.
Well, I don't mind the Pollyanna thing, the wide-eyed girl from the vault, which we've talked about before, but the problem is she doesn't evolve from the wide-eyed girl from the vault. And they gave her many situations in the first season to be like, oh, by the way, doing things like this is a bad idea because this isn't the world you came from. And people are out here, they'll try and kill you. They'll try and double cross you. Everyone's out for themselves. And it's one thing to have like, well, I'm still going to be a good person. But it's another thing to be just objectively stupid.
Yeah, just really, really dumb.
Absurdly retarded.
Retarded.
But yeah, they have their morality conversation, and she hears somebody cry for help, which is a scenario she ran into in the first season. Let me remind you. Someone calling for help, and she's like, I'll help you. This isn't going to turn out poorly.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a trap or anything.
And Cooper, who's been around quite a while, is like, oh yeah, this is a bad idea. They will, this is a trap or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, the golden rule, and I'm not going to let somebody screaming for help. All right. And it's one thing to even check to see if you can help these people. It's another thing to naively do it and like not be super cautious or not be suspicious that there's an ambush or you know what I mean?
Just nothing. No, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Yeah,
Just walk right in.
Yeah.
And then one of those weird story problems of she finds these two people injured and she conveniently only has one stim pack for the purposes of the plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I only got one, so it forces this scenario where I have to make decisions.
And normally Cooper, and he still is the best written character in the show, but so they go in there and they find these people dressed kind of weirdly, and Cooper immediately doesn't like them, and he's like, people dressed like that don't deserve your help." And it's like, okay, well, tell me why.
Yeah.
Tell me who the fuck they are then. Don't just go like, well, they're bad. And it's like,
well, I kept thinking that maybe they're cannibals or something to be like, these are bad people. And then tell her that. But instead, she just doesn't listen. Like, I need to help bad people.
But he won't explain it either.
No, he doesn't explain it.
Well, she won't listen to it.
And for someone who's a veteran like him, I kept figuring he would be the most knowledgeable, the most capable survivor of the wasteland. He is glancing around. He is looking in corners. He would anticipate a problem if there was one, but he just kind of walks in casually too, following her stupidity. And I was like, I thought, if anything, his skill would get them out of this situation or explain to her this is a bad idea. Don't you need her for some reason?
Yeah, and yeah, because that's right. He like later on in the episode, it's like, oh, he needs her, and it's like, okay, or maybe it's the episode after that, and it's like, great, you don't treat it like you do. Just so you know, like it's so weird. I don't understand why he behaves that way with her. Like, just explain it.
Well, and it's funny. Doesn't explain anything. She goes to help the lady, and he goes and cuts the throat of the guy that's there. Mm-hmm. Just in as a side, did you get a good look at the guy whose throat he cut?
No, I don't remember.
He kind of looked like Markiplier.
Oh my god! If it was, that'd be really funny.
I don't think it was. I didn't really look. But it kind of looks like Markiplier.
That would rule.
But he cuts his throat. So these people are serious and a big problem. Cuts his throat, doesn't explain anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then he eats part of him because he's hungry, I guess. And then spits it out because it's poison.
Yeah, because it has the rad scorpion poison, I guess.
Yeah, because the rad scorpions come out, and it's like, oh look, rad scorpions, and then they have to fight them. This whole scene is really stupid. It feels like, well, so answer me, what is really accomplished? She gets captured by this lady, and they get separated so that she can run into the Legion. Can they do this a lot more elegantly? Or less dumbly?
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, why not? Why not have them separated because they run into some nightkin, right?
Yeah, or just something happens, they get ambushed and they drag her off, but they just leave him for dead because he's a ghoul or something. Yeah. But they don't have to set it up in a way where the characters are very naive and stupid.
It's really bad. Like... God, like, I don't know. Like, they could have even seen, like, oh, look, there's this guy in all these football pads. Wonder what that's about. And he, like, then have Cooper be like, oh, yeah, don't fuck with these people.
Yeah, they're called the Legion. They're bad people. But no information is exchanged.
No. Like, yeah, even if these slaves are good people, like, they will come looking for them. So don't do that. Don't touch them.
Yeah.
No. Just let her be dumb.
So he gets stabbed and they fight off all the rad scorpions. And, it's neat to see rad scorpions, I guess. But,
yeah.
Were rad scorpions in Fallout 3? They were in the old ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a classic Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've been in every game.
Well... she goes, well, you can heal, but she needs the one stim pack I have, the MacGuffin stim pack. So I'm going to stick her with it and bring her back, and I'll come back for you because I'm a good person. And instead of going, oh, by the way, she works for horror group that will torture and crucify you, and don't go back with her. He doesn't say anything. He just gives her a sarcastic, oh, the golden rule, and then she leaves.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't say, oh, this is a bad decision, they're bad people, and you will regret this. Just, whatever.
Fine. It's good. Let her go. Whatever.
But we go back to what was set up in the last episode, where our guy from the vault opens up a bunch of those, I guess, cryogenic chambers.
Yeah.
And lets a bunch of naive people from the past out who were middle managers and staff at offices.
They were Bud's buddies, Rhett. They were going to be the ones to rule the wasteland with good middle management practices.
It makes me think that whole thing was made up solely because they found a catchy name to call them rather than it was really interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's indicative, the dumb Vault Tech experiments, I guess. But it's
well, sure, but I complained last week that the show is burdened by the fact it keeps living on the people from the past instead of existing in the wasteland of the now. It's constantly it's almost like the past just hasn't let go and there's still just Vault-Tec around and people from the past are like someone existing before, pre-war was so crazily rare in the Fallout universe that you had any memory of what happened before, what the world used to be like. But instead it's just half of the show is people who existed before the war.
Yeah, they're just kind of a little bit of everybody, They're about a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I guess so. His solution to escape is to let a bunch of people out and throw that brain in a trash can.
Yeah, kill Bud. I suppose he's killed. And yeah, just chaos, Rhett. Just throw a monkey wrench into the plan, and then that'll get him out of there, or they'll cannibalize each other. I don't know. Whatever.
But they all start waking up, and it's all goofy and comical. Like, oh, I have a headache, and
someone ate my chips.
From my welcome backpack or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all just goofy, stupid, naive people. And it's so what? Just more what's her name is what we're doing?
Yeah, just a lot of Lucy's. Just more Lucy's.
All right.
Why not,
More of a chance for comedy. Well, we cut to Hank, who is now at the new place with his suit, and he's gone to work at the office. Because corporations and businesses are a cult in and of themselves, I'm finding out.
Yeah, it turns out it's sort of a religion, yeah.
I believe in the corporate life.
I believe in the corporate plan, the corporate life, and everything will work out my way.
Instead of going, who cares about Vault-Tec? They're all dead now. He's still well, I got to keep going forward with the plan to keep the future going for. It's supposed to well, who cares about past big corpo business? Let's try and forge a universe that's, capable and for my children.
No, I am loyal to my corporation.
I have massive corporation dedication. And
Worse than Cyberpunk, Jesus.
I know, it's really weird. There's no implication of I guess it's implied evil corporation, but there's no implication of brainwashing or justification as to why they believe in it, as opposed to just evil capitalism or something.
Yeah, they're just into it. You know how it is.
But he restarts his brain control experiments.
Well, I'm glad you put a question mark on that. Are they experiments? Is he iterating on this at all, or is he?
Yeah, is he learning from his mistakes and making adjustments, or is he just constantly blowing up mouse brains?
Dude, I'll be honest. The first time I watched that, and I went through and kind of went around to each different segment of the show just to remember. I skipped that the first time because I was like, okay, like, because if they would show him like just with a tiny screwdriver, do it like adjusting a thing, at least it would be like, oh, he's trying to fix it. But he just goes and gets another mouse and does it again.
Well, which is weird because he was able to get the brainwashing chip to work before, but it was too big.
Yeah, now we got to miniaturize, Rhett.
But you know how to get the technology to work. It worked.
Well, but it was too big and it's unsightly, Rhett. It's unseemly. We can't have that.
Well, and this is the whole science run amok, evil science stuff that exists in Fallout. But it's just, what experiments are you actually doing besides just killing mice that should be dead at this point?
I wondered that too. Who's taking care of all these mice?
Are they in a self-sustaining colony of sorts?
Like, man, how'd you get that going?
Well, they just don't show anything. He just walks into a room and walks out with a mouse.
Oh, God, it's so stupid.
It's really been 200 years.
Nah, the mice are fine.
Well, we cut to the secret sand base, Ross, and wouldn't you know it, some of the greatest American treasures are in this base.
I think I saw the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, statues from Egypt, relics from the past, pristine vehicles that they then blow up and shoot at, a refrigerator with an actual alien inside of it, and they're like, oh, a freeze box, and throws the alien corpse out of the refrigerator.
Remember Mothership Zeta, everyone?
Well, yeah.
Remember Area 51?
Because funny enough, aliens do exist in the Fallout universe. They are real.
They super exist. And you know what? I would have been fine with them, like all they would have had to do is a slight tweak to the writing and just have it be like, oh, they had abominations then too? Just that much. But instead, like, they don't know what they're looking at. And they don't like talk about like, man, what's this thing? Well, icebox. Like,
the Brotherhood are written like a bunch of frat boy morons.
Yeah, just total tards. And
they're supposed to be seekers of knowledge and technology. Like, they're obsessed with knowledge. When they open it up, this faction, the way they've been established in the lore, be like, what is that thing?
Yeah, just be like, huh?
Want to know, want to understand. But instead, they're all just morons. Like, absurd, foaming in the mouth, frat boy morons.
Yeah, to the point where two guys, like two knights, so dudes in power armor, are sitting there fighting over a live grenade.
Well, yeah, later, during a meeting, they fight over a live... Well, they do it a couple times then.
Yeah, even when they first get into Area 51, they're doing that. And it's like, quit doing that. Like, that's stupid. Like, what? So these guys are just morons? Like, I realized we had Michael Rappaport play the first one, and he is a fucking moron. But you don't have to just take the character of the actual actor and put it onto the type. That's dumb. Don't do that.
The lack of preservation of things that were placed here by shooting up a car that you can't recreate.
So stupid.
Because whatever. And it's like, oh, there's an alien in the freeze box. Oh, and he throws it out. So it's supposed to be like a wink and a nod to the games, another Easter egg, if you will, but also disrespectful at the same time, which is sort of the point of everything in the show is perpetual Easter egg. And then you just, I have to imagine what this would be like in any other universe, like recreated. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, Star Wars, opening up a thing and being like, oh my gosh, it's Luke's lightsaber, and then just taking a crap on it.
Oh, wait. They kind of did that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
It's just
That worked out well, right?
I know. But you see what I mean? We don't look. It's almost like they assume we're stupid. We don't want Easter eggs. We want you to respect the universe. I would rather have no Alien and respect the universe than Alien, and then be like, whatever. Brr.
Just fart on it as it goes down. Like, oh, okay.
This is stupid. Oh, you're just damaging the Brotherhood of Lore. Whatever.
Whatever, dumbass.
Bunch of morons.
Ugh.
I mean, there's stuff in this place preserved for a reason. There is a ancient Chinese terracotta warrior, and no one cares.
No.
Or they would push it over because it's like, whatever.
Whatever.
Now, you could have something to say where it's like, in the apocalypse, these have a lot lower value because we're about survival. But it's like, it takes the lowest of effort to not damage things. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's too much.
But they got their secret technology of danger and infinite power, and it's going to reshape the Brotherhood, and they're going to unite the Brotherhood behind this secret, super amazing weapon that's not that interesting or amazing.
It's just infinite power now, so the dam doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, it's jumping slightly ahead, but essentially infinite amounts of the power armor battery, whatever they are.
Fusion cores.
Yes, that's right. So they just have ridiculous amounts of fusion cores. Like, that's your secret weapon?
Yeah.
Like, I thought it'd be something cool like Helios 1 with the laser from space, or the other DLC in New Vegas where what's his name gets control of nuclear missiles.
Oh, Ulysses.
Yeah, or some other weird. I mean, the technology they find that cures the wasteland's water in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Immense amount of just creativity abounds, and instead they're like, oh, lots of fusion cores. All right, and I don't even explain it. Is it like a huge amount of fusion cores, or the ability to continually make fusion cores?
Yeah, my assumption was just the ability to make more, but that's a good question.
Would that require massive factory and construction material? Yeah. Just some sort of automated manufacturing system to be able to make them, because that's not in that warehouse.
No.
But whatever. And then we cut to Maximus washing his face, and his assistant being like, why are you washing yourself? That's weird. And then he gives him this quote about, improving yourself helps the Brotherhood. And, I'm fully accepting of the possibility that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't remember the first season. But in the first season, wasn't Maximus kind of a screw-up?
Yeah, because he was just a squire, and nobody wanted him. Like, he got thrown in purely because his non-binary friend had razor blades in their boots.
Yeah, but he wasn't like extremely capable or wise or brilliant.
No.
He was just some screw up. It was almost like Finn from
Yeah.
Force Awakens. He kind of had this fish out of water, I don't know what I'm doing sort of thing.
Hmm.
And now in what feels like 5 minutes, he is extremely capable and wise and very awesome in the armor. I
Yeah, and I
I
guess he was kind of getting there in the first season, but yeah, it
feels like a leap
pretty
of
sudden.
character.
A little, especially where they still make him like a blank slate that everyone manipulates.
Yes.
So it's like, well, okay,
Well, suddenly he's like super disciplined.
yeah,
Well, you keep yourself clean and make yourself better because it's better for the brotherhood. And it's like, what are you talking about?
right.
Well, Siren goes. Well, he spends time cleaning his armor, which is something the squire is supposed to do, was my understanding.
Yeah, I would assume.
But he spends time cleaning his armor, and then they get a non-binary lady man comes in and is like, I'm worried about the ethics and what we're doing with this, which is weird because they're supposed to be very indoctrinated. And this individual's like, can we trust them? It's like, well, why are you a part of this organization? I don't know. I'm worried about it.
I don't trust. Like, okay.
Then they get a siren warning and a bunch of the blimp thing. They're not,
Yeah, airships. I
yeah,
guess.
airships is the better word.
Yeah.
Show up, and a bunch of people from all over, just in the nearby, show up.
Apparently, there's a lot of Brotherhood outposts, Rhett. Many.
I know in the lore there's supposed to be a few, but I don't know which ones are destroyed over time and which one, because there was the more famous, biggest original one, which is kind of Seattle area, I want to say. Or Northern California was the original one, but there's supposed to be one in the Seattle area, as I recall. And then there's the one in the Mojave. There's one in Central California, which the NCR have like a tentative, like passive alliance sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be everywhere, and instead we get like 4 with 1 on the East Coast.
Yeah, and 2 of them being in places that shouldn't be there.
What it's Grand Canyon, Yosemite, and I don't know where the other one is.
Coronado, which is San Diego, basically. It's like a naval base.
Yeah, I think the one in California is Coronado.
Yeah, and well, I don't know about the original one. I didn't think it was. I can't remember.
I think the original was Northern California somewhere.
Yeah, because like in this, they have the Grand Canyon, like Yosemite, whatever. But then they have the Grand Canyon, which is like, well, isn't that Legion turf? And then they have, then they have Coronado, which is like, that's NCR turf. Like, what are we doing? Like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. It's just really baffling. I don't quite.
Yeah, nothing's explained, so whatever.
know.
Not to be mean, I don't mind a girl being here, but we have grizzled war soldier men and a heavy girl.
And a big guy, big team.
In the apocalypse who eats really well. I remember seeing someone online criticizing the people in the vault where it's like, we're running out of resources and they're fat vault dwellers.
Yeah, it's that one big fat guy. That's like, okay.
Yeah, he's from Severance too.
Oh, that's right, he is.
Yeah. But they all sit down because our elder cleric Quintus wants to revolt against the heads of the Brotherhood in the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to unite with them and offer them infinite batteries.
Yeah, and well, I don't want to tell the Commonwealth about this because they'll just take it and not give us anything. It's like how would they take it?
If you have infinite batteries in an area where you live, wouldn't they give you some of it? They're infinite.
It's like, okay. And also, wouldn't you like, so you think they're gonna just leave the Commonwealth to come fight you over this? Well, that would put you at a great advantage, so just don't say anything. Like, like fuck them. I don't.
Well,
so not like
he implies the purpose of having this will unite the Brotherhood in a future goal, and then it's like, well, the Commonwealth would just use it to unite the Brotherhood towards a future goal. Suddenly, they have a lot of power to keep everything running. Their ships, their vertibirds, the armor, the power armor.
yeah, and there's listen, not to be too like I guess nerdy about this kind of thing, but like I have a friend who was a Black Hawk mechanic, right?
Right.
Like he worked on Black Hawk helicopters, and the idea that somebody flew a vertibird from Massachusetts all the way to Nevada, just one guy, and then is going to fly back with whatever. That's crazy. Like those, every time a Black Hawk flies, you need to work on something.
Can I have
It may not be much, but you got to do something to it. So it's like, okay.
Well, and I suppose this is fancy future atomic technology, but then my other question would be, well, then how did he know if this was happening like 5 seconds after it happened and then flew over immediately?
Yeah. It's like, I would get it if he showed up a couple days later, but they're literally like, they just had their big dinner, their big talk, and that evening they're having, or that afternoon they're having their fight, you know, their pit fight. And it's like, what? Okay. Like,
We are a little ahead, but he shows up near the end. Anyway, they have what is supposed to be a system where the best and the brightest get elevated to the position of knight, and instead the dumbest get elevated to the position of knight, and they fight over a grenade that they activate and are fighting because they're very stupid. Because everything in the show undermines established groups and lore. All of it. Brotherhood, stupid.
Yeah.
And as we find out in a minute, Legion, just absurdly stupid.
Really stupid.
Anyway, Elder Quintus gives his pitch of let's take over, everybody. Declare your loyalty to me and not the guys on the East Coast.
Yeah, even like, why are they in charge anyway? I guess they would say they're in charge because of the Liberty Prime, but it's like, how are they going to get Liberty Prime fucking anywhere? Like,
well, is that said in the lore? That's why they're in charge? Because I don't know. Because originally in 3, what's his name leaves because he's chasing after something. He it's like a rumor of a technology or something. And he leaves from the West Coast where the Brotherhood are and travels all across the nation, which I think they describe as like a harrowing, difficult journey. Make it to the Commonwealth. And then eventually he dies and a new guy takes over. But I remember him sort of disobeying the leaders and traveling all the way over there and then deciding to help people rather than simply take the technology for the Brotherhood. I don't recall him being in charge.
You talking like Maxon?
No, well, the original guy that was in the
Lions, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't think he was, because I think it was implied that they sent him there looking for some technology, and instead he decides to use it to help people. Like, it's clearly described he's acting very unbrotherhood. And
Right, yeah, because then there's the outcasts and all that.
yeah, instead of stealing everything for the Brotherhood, he's basically trying to help the people of the Capital Wasteland.
Yeah, yeah, which, like, because I think they found Liberty Prime in addition to the main character's father wanting to clean all the water, and yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
And it's that group, at least the aftermath of that group, that shows up in Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they clean up the Capitol, I guess, and then, yeah. Here they are in the Commonwealth.
Well, I'm just like, why are they in charge? I didn't think they were in charge.
I didn't think so either. I mean, Maxon, the later one, clearly has intentions, but I didn't think he was in very much communication with the Western Brotherhood, if any. So I don't... It's really weird to me.
Anyway, somehow they find out immediately, and some guy travels in a vertibird alone without staff or...
No mechanics, no backup, just one guy. I'll be honest, I initially thought this was gonna be, he was like a red herring, and he's like not actually, I don't think that's the right word, but like he's like yeah, I'm from the Commonwealth. Listen to me, guys. I'm from the Commonwealth.
Yeah, I stole a vertibird, and he's pretending to be a member of the Brotherhood.
But as we'll see later in another episode, I don't think that can be the case now.
It'd have been more interesting if he was an Enclave guy pretending to be Brotherhood.
Way more interesting.
But anyway, we're back to Lucy being just stupid.
Yeah.
And she's traveling with Slave Person, and then we're back to Norm, who's trapped in the vault, who's trying to organize office workers into working with him to find a way to escape the place they're trapped in. And then we cut to Hank, who decides to wake up a guy, and so he puts the thing on his head to see if it works on humans, because maybe he thought that the mice were a problem. And he blows his head up, and we're not supposed to be that upset because the guy didn't want to spend the money to bring his family in because he's an evil capitalist man.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like, whatever. And it's like, he did just murder this person.
Yeah. Woke him up and killed him.
Yeah, but he didn't want to spend the money. Like money has any value outside of the... after the apocalypse, but whatever. They make him evil capitalist man, and then he blows his head off. And so far, science has not progressed.
And again, they don't show, because he talks about like he's working on it, and it's like, are you? It kind of seemed like you just keep trying the same thing over and over again, bud. Like I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all, actually. I think you're just maybe a psycho.
Yeah, he seems kind of like a psychopath. With poor plans and poorly executed blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's just trying to kill people.
I'm slowly following along, skipping forward so I can stay with the plot. But I believe after my current advertisement is she goes to the Legion. Am I correct?
Yeah, she'd found, like the Legion finder. They kind of show them, like, weirdly not that far away up on the hills in the dark. And just, for some reason, don't just immediately capture him then. But anyway, yeah, Lucy's trying to talk to them. She's like, well, I'm nice. And it's like, yeah, you are. I guess you are.
Well, and we proceed to ruin another faction in the lore, the Legion.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mad Max people running around in outfits. Now, if I could describe the reason why this is a big problem, the big existential threat in the wasteland is the Legion.
Oh,
like, period. Hands down, the Legion. And part of the reason is they were created intentionally by very highly educated individuals who decided, that one thing mankind needed was a structure that worked previously, sort of a structure and belief system and organization that worked previously to unite the disparate tribes and factions under one banner so that mankind could survive. Like, that was the purpose. The reason why the Legion worked really well is they were able to envelop tribes. Now, in the Fallout universe, and it kind of makes sense, after the apocalypse, the remnants of mankind slowly devolved into tribal units, and they had their own sort of identities and organization. And the Legion essentially conquered tribes and then folded them into themselves, which is what Rome sort of did. Is they would encounter other civilizations, just fold them into Rome. And what this did is it created a hierarchy system, a structure where even if you were at a conquered tribe, you could exist in it and excel because the best were supposed to sort of excel in it. The strongest, the best generals, the best soldiers or whatever. And the Legion grew very quickly. They became one of the biggest widespread threats in all of America, encompassing huge, vast swaths to the point where they reached all the way to the Hoover Dam and the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
Insofar as they were threatening the other actually well-established government setup of the NCR, the first sort of hope of mankind of setting up some sort of government or some sort of civilization in the aftermath. And the NCR has grown to the point where it is also very capable. But the Legion is the biggest threat. The Legion would run over the NCR in a second. As is implied in the games, and they had drag-out battles over who controlled the Hoover Dam. Now, the first battle of the Hoover Dam, the NCR essentially won and held ground. But in Fallout New Vegas, there's an implication that the second battle of the Hoover Dam is coming, sort of thing. So it's sort of the existential threat of the two sides going to war with one another. The Legion, massively, hugely powerful. In the game, you can kill what, now his name, obviously Caesar.
Yes.
What everybody calls him, but in the game, they call him Kaiser, which you say might actually be the original pronunciation.
I was going to say, I love in the show that Lucy's being smug, and it's like, well, actually, you're probably wrong, but whatever. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of a joke, I guess, but it's still funny.
Well, it's like Attila the Hun. Technically, it's pronounced Attila.
Yeah, Attila. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the actual Latin pronunciation of Caesar is, but if it's Kaiser, then screw Lucy.
Yeah, screw you, broad.
Well, especially when the culture they set up, which is something that existed in mankind and works with mankind, however horrific, was this massive militaristic culture with slaves and all these sorts of things. But they could build stuff. Like, Rome doesn't exist just as a wandering army. It should be attractive in a way where it can build a future for mankind. Well, that's the purpose of the people who originally created it in the lore. Yes. In this show, she runs into basically super violent morons.
Yeah, they look more like random goons than like, and people can write it off like, well, but the Legion's in a civil war, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, yep, all right. But like the Legion in the game is supposed to be incredibly well disciplined.
Yes.
And like uniform as much as possible. Like, these guys look like goons. Like, they look like just regular like gangers in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it looks dumb. Like, it's not quite right. It's close but not right.
Just really quick, that guy in the vault organizes the middle managers and office workers to escape.
Yeah.
And they do. And Maximus ends up having a fist fight with a giant jacked guy and somehow wins.
A mega jacked guy. Like, You know what's funny? At the very beginning of that fight, I was like, "Oh, okay, like that guy's a douche," and like the only reason Maximus has any upper hand is because he hits him in the nuts. All right, but then he somehow overpowers him with his bayonet. Like the guy pulls a bayonet out of his boot to stab him, and somehow Maximus like overpowers him and gets him in the gut, and then stabs him in the. It's like, oh, how? This guy's enormous.
I know
Like,
people like to downplay the things like strength and power. You see in kung fu all the time. It's like, oh well, you can overcome anybody. Just redirect their foot. No, if you've ever fought, if you've ever been in a fight, as someone who's been in a very many fights, and that's not because I'm a huge belligerent. It's because I did martial arts for years and years. Strength is a big factor.
yeah, it's not nothing.
Size and strength is a big factor, and he even just grabbing his one arm, he couldn't overpower him.
No,
The guy's just a lot bigger than him. So unless he gets lucky, he doesn't beat him in a fight. But at the end, our Commonwealth guy we alluded to shows up, and that's pretty much it. We don't go deep into the lore with the Legion, which we'll talk about in the next episode. But boy, are they stupid.
Yeah, it's gonna be really dumb, everybody.
Did we miss anything? Did you say your piece about this episode? It's Lucy. Well, a lot of stuff, a lot of skipping around, but it's like Guy escapes vault. Lucy's dumb. The Brotherhood had their most progress in their story, where all of the different factions showed up, and he wants to cause a rebellion, and he finds secret technology thing, and also the Brotherhood are very dumb.
Very stupid. Yeah, I mean that's the gist of it. It's almost shocking how irritatingly stupid the Brotherhood are. They shouldn't be this way.
No, I think it's the curse of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's everything's got to be quirky and stupid, and
yeah.
You don't have to be perfect with the lore, but you have to treat it with respect and earnestness.
Yeah, you have to at least try, and on top of that, you have to have some internal consistency.
Yeah, because everybody just goes, "Oh, well, you just want fan service." It's like, no, I don't want fan service, and I don't even really want Easter eggs. I want you to respect the lore. That's it.
Very much, yeah.
And in fact, if you set this in Miami and it has no references to any of the previous games, because a lot of them, instead like, oh, Nuka-Cola, or like, I'd have been perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to the dinosaur statue. You don't have to show me New Vegas. You don't have to do any of the stuff that was in the lore. Just respect the lore. But whatever. I'm just some guy on the internet. This show, I don't know if it's popular. You know what's funny? Me and you had the same reaction. So both of us don't like the show.
No.
Like, and look, I'm open to the show dramatically gets better. I don't think it's going to happen. But for some reason, I've seen this show sort of. There's been a weird thing where usually with movies and stuff, you get like the new Marvel movie and maybe you get stuff at McDonald's or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for the first time ever, I'm starting to see like streaming shows that you have to specifically have access to through a subscription, advertising through other venues. And like Wendy's had Wednesday, like burgers and stuff, and it was just odd. And for the weirdest reason, Fallout has a deal with Dave's Hot Chicken or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you could get the what is it? The Wasteland Survival Pack meal, where you get a stim pack, a plastic stim pack with it, where you could spread ranch, I guess, on your chicken.
Yeah.
And both of us not liking the show immediately were like, I don't know if it's just sarcastic or ironically both want that stim pack.
No, I genuinely do. Like, I'm yes.
I thought it'd be funny, just like, you know what, I kind of want that. Even though I don't like the show.
Get it.
Yeah. Even though I don't want I don't like the show. somehow it's like, yeah, it'd be really funny to buy the advertising chicken that goes along with the show and get a little stim pack so I can just like, yeah, I got my stim pack from the really shitty Amazon Prime show. But both of us immediately reacted like, I kind of want that.
I can't help it, all right? It's kind of neat.
Xbox has been advertising heavily with the Fallout because you forget that it's an Xbox brand.
Yeah, it is now. The Xbox needed some new ones, so they bought a bunch of stuff, and one of those was Bethesda.
I saw an advertisement recently where they're like, and watch Fallout on all the different ways to access Xbox or something like that. Like Xbox wasn't just one console, it was many different things. It was on your computer, it's on your console, it's on the handheld, the ROG Ally or whatever that came out. It's on your phone or your tablet. It's like Xbox everywhere. And it's like I can see where they're trying to send their branding in the future.
Yeah.
This show was huge the first season. I do not see people talking about it. Like we said that in the first episode, but I do not see the permeation of this show.
Yeah, I don't really either.
Despite the fact advertisers think it's going to be just as big as the first season.
And it keeps saying that it's the #1 show on Amazon, but I don't know what that means exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just how they calculate that or just artificially put it at #1. You never know how they come up with these things.
Yeah. Never trustworthy.
Yeah. But that was episode 2. Super exciting and hype. Bless us all. Bless us everyone. Will we survive the apocalypse? Will Lucy learn?
No. Oh wait. Maybe.
Will Cooper soften up? Will anything get more interesting, or is everything just going to be exactly what we expect it to be?
Well, I can tell you this. I did find something interesting for episode 4 when we get there, but it's not related directly to the show, so we'll see. But it is related. It's just not anything in the show, I should say.
Stay tuned for episode 3.